Welcome back. So let's get into this discussion now. A desperate family in KwaZulu-Natal is appealing for assistance with finding their missing 13-year-old who was last seen exactly a month ago at his home in Mbangeni. Sanalengwenga's parents are pleading to those who may know his whereabouts to contact them immediately. His case highlights the crisis faced by many parents who have lost their children due to various reasons. Missing Children South Africa's Bianca van Aswegen joins us with more on this. Bianca, a good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us. This is an incredibly difficult story, that of this 13-year-old family that, you know, from their understanding, this young boy was in the house, and then later on a realization that he had gone missing. It has been weeks now. But talk to us about just some of the trends that we see with the number of missing children in the country, just to start us off.
Good evening, milady. Yes, unfortunately, this is the fate of a lot of children in our country currently. Statistics really only gives us a general indication of the problem we're facing because so many cases actually go unreported. We've got cases of people unable to get to police stations. We've got people that lack trust in our police system. We've even got parents who are actually responsible for their own children's disappearance by selling them off for human trafficking purposes. So if we really have to look at proper figures regarding children going missing in our country, it's far worse than statistics will ever tell us.
Yeah. Are we seeing new trends? Because we're obviously seeing we can go through the numbers of just how many children are reported missing in the country. I think that's important. But I look at the matter of the boy, Kamogelo Baukudi. Obviously, he has made it back home. But some of the trends that we see where they are seemingly kidnapping cases, particularly for ransom.
Yes, kidnappings has escalated in our country tremendously, especially in the last 2 years. We've approximately got 50 kidnappings a day happening in our country. So this is really a target for our children. Our children are the most vulnerable in our society. So we've got human trafficking that is happening. We've got kidnappings that are happening to our children. We've got children that ran away from home due to abuse. And unfortunately, being out in the streets, they are vulnerable to fall victim to other types of crimes. And unfortunately, then we've also got cases like this little 13-year-old who has not yet been found, and so many others that the reasons are still unknown to their disappearances.
How good are we at prosecuting perpetrators, though? Are we getting that right?
Well, in instances like this, we don't know yet who the perpetrator is and what type of crime has been committed to these children. But yes, we have, especially with our human trafficking, we're really working hard on those prosecutions. We've got a conviction and a sentencing quite recently in a case of human trafficking. And we've got proper laws in our country actually protecting our children. It's just we need these perpetrators to be caught, to be prosecuted, and to be sentenced. And that's also where the public comes into play. To please report cases. If you do see something, know something, please report it so action can be taken.
Yeah, I think the role of communities just incredibly important, and perhaps just the challenges that we have in actually being able to bring communities to the fore. I think immediately about the case of how we've seen communities actually heading out to look for children. Jocelyn Smith, for instance, the community incredibly involved in that one.
Yes, definitely. Our community plays a big role, but we do also reiterate the fact that if a community does get involved with a search, please do it under police instruction. Don't go out by yourself or just tamper with any evidence. We might just have a hampering of an investigation. So please do it under police control. Yes, we do need our communities to stand together and help us in the search, but please do so in a responsible way.
Yeah. Then every now and then there's a story that just gives you hope, right? There was the baby boy who was found safe and alive after he was reported missing, and a 37-year-old woman having been arrested for the kidnapping. This was a 12-year-old baby. Those stories just bringing us a sense of hope, and perhaps you can talk to us about the numbers in terms of how we do with recoveries.
Yes, it does give us hope. And unfortunately, we've got so many children still missing in South Africa, even dating back to the 1980s. But we've had wonderful stories of children being missing for many years. So the hope always remains. If we have not yet found a body, the child is possibly still alive and there's still hope in finding them. Unfortunately, we don't have that specific stats on how many are recovered currently, but we as an organization have a great success rate in our recovery of our children. But we do ask that people, please, our children's safety is priority. They are the most vulnerable in society. Let's stand together and make South Africa a safer place for our children.
Yeah, the kind of support that's necessary for parents, because one can just imagine the emotional and psychological turmoil of not being able to know where your child is, the support that's necessary and is available.
Yes, definitely. It's not just during the time that a child is missing, but also the aftermath when a child has been found, the trauma that they've gone through, that the family has gone through. So as an organization, we advise the family or refer them to the right trauma counseling or psychological help that they need, to a psychologist, because it's very important to work through the trauma also during the time where the child is still missing, and also, as I mentioned, the aftermath.
Yeah, just to put some power back in the hands of parents. We obviously would want to prevent something like this happening to our own children. Some tools that you can give us to ensure that we keep our children safe at all times.
Definitely. Prevention is always better than cure. So we do ask parents to know where your children are at all times and also whom they're with. Please do not leave your children with people that you do not trust. Also, our teenagers. Social media is one of our biggest platforms that is actually luring and grooming our children. So parents, please be vigilant. Know what your children are busy with online. Please monitor their online use, their social media use. Look what they are posting online, who they're chatting to. And we also just need to, as a community, stand together. It takes a village to raise a child, but it also takes a village to keep our children safe. So we ask people to please also do not wait if you're in a situation where your child has gone missing. People are still under the impression that they have to wait 24 hours. That does not exist. Please report it immediately so action can be taken.
Yeah, so important that we remind ourselves of what needs to be done. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Bianca on Aswegen there speaking to us.